So today we are going to take a look at some pieces that I really like, and they make wonderful gifts. These are made by Steve Kondo. They're the it's like a cross series. It's a double cut laser cut cross, and then it's put on, and then it's put on the tube, and then kind of like a cast mold, like a label cast. They come in, and then he pours the resin around it. And these are really awesome quick turns. If you don't know Steve Kondo, there'll be a link on this video. Check him out. We buy these blanks from Steve. He doesn't give them to us, but we're just gonna give one a quick turn, let you see what you think, and then we are probably going to pair it on a Sirocco pin kit from Chad Schimmel over at turnerswarehouse.com. So we'll cut through. We won't make this real long. Enjoy the turning. All right, so here we go. We're going to take light cuts on it because you do want to treat it like a segmented blank. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started and get this done, and then I'll get back to you. So the barrels turn, quick and simple. Now, what we'll have to do is we'll get set up and go into sand this, and I'll be right back. All right, so we're gonna start our sanding on this. We're just gonna start at a 180. We're just gonna give it a light sand. Don't want to heat it up. Just want to get it down. I find as soon as you see, like right here where it's a little dark, it just means you hadn't gotten that little bit of an area, you hadn't gotten it flush yet. And so Steve said to treat these just like you would a hybrid, obviously, because there's wood in it. So we're going to bring this on. We're just going to sand this up, and then we'll have to put CA on it. But we'll probably we'll sand it through probably about 400, maybe 600, depends on how the wood looks. As long as we have no scratches in the wood, the resin won't matter, it'll fill with the CA finish. But we'll just put that light on there, and we'll take a look at that cross, see how it's bedding in there really nice. We'll go with the grain, traveling little marks in them. They're not scratches, that's just the way the wood is. So we'll go ahead and take it up to a little 600, and then we'll hit it with a little denatured alcohol just to clean up that wood grain, and just to get any little dust and all that off, and that'll start to give you kind of a show of what we can expect from the color. Just go have a kind of a beautiful teal. We'll stop it and see that's what it ultimately can look like. It's kind of a beautiful swirl pattern he uses. So the cross right there is good and cleaned up. So I'm going to get swapped over and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we go with the CA. This is the CA. We use a thin and then also a medium mercury adhesive thin flex on our pins. This is all available through Chad over at Turner's Warehouse, you know, where we get the kits from. So we're going to go, what we're going to do is we're going to go with 3 coats of the thin just to kind of seal it, and then we're going to go back and do about 4 coats, 5 coats with the medium, and then we'll come back and do 2 more coats with the thin, and then we'll go to wet sanding. It's kind of like clear coats on a car. The more layers you end up with, the deeper the gloss. So I'm going to do this, and I'll get back to you here in just a minute when we get ready to start wet sanding. Put a little piece of paper under here just to keep the water from dripping. The rest of the pads, and won't be long. We'll be ready to assemble this thing. So what I'll do is I'll come back when I'm on to the last pad, and that way you don't have to sit and watch just a standard wet sanding. Alright, so we're on the last pad now, and it's almost done. We'll take a quick little peek at it, and then we'll give it a polish up and be moving along. Some Novus 2. And this is just one that we like to use. We move it around, spread it around on the pad, and then just start hitting it on and build up just a little bit of temperature, a little bit of friction. Not a lot, just enough to really work it in. You can see the light that runs across the blank, how it's kind of dull. Here in a second, when we come back onto the back side to remove it, you'll see that light brighten right back up, and that's just letting you know you're getting everything off. So get that done. Our final, which we use a Meguiar's mirror glaze, and we just do it the same way. Just start it on and get the little bit of paper towel, get it wet, and as you can see, it clouds the blank up right away. We just work it in with just a little bit of heat, not a lot of pressure, just put it in and work it back and forth, and that's pretty much all there is to that. Now we're going to turn the cloth around, and we're just going to buff that off. And again, if you watch the line, you'll see it go from very dull to just a really, really bright shine. So what do y'all think? Do you like the look of that? All right. Now I'm going to change over to the next step, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so our last step here in the actual making is we use this, it's a squaring jig, about 40 bucks. You buy the 20-piece set from Harbor Freight, and you use those, and you get them and they fit real close, so it just rolls smooth. And all you do is you advance it and just give it a slight slow turn, and then you back it off. And as you can see, I'll try to get it just right where you get that. As you can see, it squares that base up. And when you really get into doing numbers, you know, batching out, you know, if you're doing 10 or 12 or 15 of these, you do all your steps at once. And then when you get to this, you can literally square them in just a handful of minutes, like all of them. And so it's that simple. You pull it out, and it's ready now to go to assembly. So I'm going to get you set up over there, and I'll be right back. With the Sirocco golden gunmetal, that's the kit that's going to go on this one. And again, this kit's available from Chad Schimmel over at Turner's Warehouse, and we're going to get it pressed together and see how she looks. Now what I always do is I always try to, if I have an image, I always want to make it so that when it sits, the pin is supported by its side and my image is straight up. And that's something that, just being picky maybe. And so and then we'll come in here and put our spring on. We'll drop that in, and then we'll screw the transmission on. We always turn ours on just a little extra tight, just so they don't back out. And here we come, finish of the kit. And that just snaps on. And so here is the final pin. What do y'all think? Do y'all like that? All right, I will put some photos. I'll place it up, take some photos, and add those onto the end of this. I hope y'all have a great day.